So there you go. And they're selling you out. The Justice Democrats are not doing what they said they would do, and you should stop giving them money. You should stop giving Justice Democrats money. You should make them do what they said they were going to do. And when they do, you'll start giving them money again. But stop. Stop giving the Justice Democrats money. Stop. I can't say that hard enough. Stop giving them money. The president-elect is calling me again. Hello?
Hey, man. Happy New Year, fat.
Hey, Happy New Year, Joe, but why can't you support Medicare for all when we need it the most?
All right, look, firstly, and I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. My wife is a doctor.
Hey, thanks for reassuring the nation on that, pal.
Furthermore, and however, I promise all of America, not just Bermuda, 1968 is going to be the best year ever. Look, folks, I'm not going to sugarcoat the Band-Aid here. So let me be very, very clear. Mask up, or you're all going to die. Simple as that. Hey, I need some money for the inauguration ceremony. Pony up, Sat Sack.
What's your plan to fix our healthcare system, Joe?
Fix? Doesn't need fixing, bud. It just needs to be reimagined. I imagined an Amazonian fulfillment center in everybody's town, big and small. Drones deliver vaccines, and a little robot administers the dose. His name will be Tommy. Tommy the little robot. Articulate and bright and clean, nice-looking guy. He's going to cure cancer. Tommy's about the size of a baby, but he won't wear a diaper. Robots of the future will be potty trained and only crap rusty springs and broken gears. You take the springs and gears down to the local Montgomery wards for recycling and get a discount on Amazon Prime. That's the future, I swear.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But what about now, Joe?
My dad was a big fella.
Yeah.
Stood 10 leagues high with shoulders wider in Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
I remember the first civil rights march he took me to.
Uh-huh.
I fell out of my stroller.
Yeah.
And I'm fussing, and he's like, baby, what do you want? And I just looked at her, and I said, freedom. I said, freedom.
Wow, that's so touching. Freedom. You were so young, you couldn't even pronounce freedom correctly, but you knew that's what you wanted. Freedom.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, I say, shit, freedom. Freedom. You're crazy.
But isn't that from an anecdote Martin Luther King told in 1965?
Oh, come on, don't give me that. My vice president, what's her name? She told me I did that. Now, let me tell you another story happened to me.
Okay.
My mother used to have an espresso. She said, bravery resides in every heart, and someday it'll be summoned.
Bravery resides in everyone's heart, and someday it will be summoned, not summoned.
Shut up, man. It's like my aunt used to say about San Francisco. We built this city on sausage rolls.
No, we built this city on rock and roll.
Even though we won the Senate, I promised to work with both parties to get things done. Especially the ones who want to kill us and use us as their food source. So
now you're backing the $2,000 check thing?
It's not just about that. It's about real wives. Hardworking Americans that are desperately in need of kelp. They've been begging for kelp, and they need it now. Well, I'm here to tell you kelp is on the way. Restoring hope, honor, and dysentery to dishonest Americans all over this country's country.
And if Republicans fight the recovery $2,000 checks, what then?
Then you won't get diddly squirt. You won't get jack squat. Zilch, nada, bupkis. Dicks everywhere, you lum-digging chalaga. I won't even lift a finger for you popcorn heads. You can take that to the pokey. Put it through the mop wringer and set it out to dry on Maud's hat rack. You bucket-mouthed mudfish.
Well, thanks for calling, Joe Biden.
Where am I?
All right. So this is happening right now. This is some good news. The UK judge refuses U.S. extradition of WikiLeaks founder Assange. That is great news.
It is.
That is great news. We hosted the town hall for Julian Assange here at the show. We've always been on board with Julian Assange, and this is what the story is. A British judge on Monday rejected the United States request to extradite WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to face espionage charges over the publication of secret U.S. documents a decade ago, saying suicide was likely if held under harsh U.S. prison conditions. Now, let's remember what they're prosecuting Julian Assange, or they're trying to prosecute him for, is that not anything to do with Trump or Russia or WikiLeaks or the Clinton campaign or any of that, or the server. It's to do with them exposing war crimes of the Bush administration through Chelsea Manning in 2010. That's what this is about. And people don't know that. People think it's about, he's working with Putin. And no, first of all, he never was. But second of all, this is about him exposing war crimes 10 years ago. Barack Obama's administration already tried to prosecute him for this, and they dropped it because they realized they couldn't. In a mixed ruling for Assange and his supporters, the judge rejected defense arguments that the 49-year-old Australian faces a politically motivated American prosecution that rides roughshod over free speech protections. It does all that stuff. It is politically motivated, and it does ride roughshod on free speech. Of course, that judge is corrupt, but the judge did still give him denied the extradition. But she said it. Why? She said because Assange's precarious mental health would likely deteriorate further under the conditions of near total isolation he would face in a U.S. prison. So it's like a humanitarian thing she's doing. She's like, he should be prosecuted, but he'll probably die if they do. That's what she's saying. Lawyers for the U.S. government said they would appeal the decision, and the U.S. Department of Justice said it would continue to seek Assange's extradition. Those people are evil. The lawyers for the U.S. government are evildoers. While we are extremely disappointed in the court's ultimate decision, we are gratified that the United States prevailed on every point of law raised, it said in a statement. In particular, the court rejected all of Mr. Assange's arguments regarding political motivation, political offense, fair trial, and freedom of speech. In other words, the court still upholds our bullshit charges. They just acknowledge we're complete lunatics trying to kill a guy for publishing stuff we didn't want published. That's really what that says. The court still upholds our bullshit charges. They just acknowledge we're complete lunatics trying to kill a guy for publishing stuff that we didn't want people to see. We hope that after consideration of the UK's court's ruling, the United States will decide not to pursue the case further, Assange's lawyer said. Yeah, you've tortured a guy long enough. The U.S. is a bully that hasn't even been portrayed in the movies yet. When does that happen? Amnesty International tweeted this out. We welcome the fact that Julian Assange will not be sent to the United States of America, but this does not absolve the UK from having engaged in this politically motivated process at the behest of the United States and putting media freedom and freedom of expression on trial. Julian Assange's partner, Stella Morris, she gave a speech. You want to hear it?
I ask you all to shout louder, lobby harder, until he is free. I call on everyone else to come together to defend Julian's rights. Not just Julian's rights. They're your rights too. Julian's freedom is coupled to all our freedoms.
I 100% support what she's saying. She's saying it correctly. Julian said Julian's freedom is tied to all our freedoms. And that's exactly right. That is 100% right. How do people not, what? I don't get it. And here's Glenn Greenwald says, Mexico's President AMLO announces that Mexico is offering potential asylum to Julian Assange, citing not only Mexico's tradition of protecting people from political persecution, but also its responsibility to do so. Wow, that's amazing. So good news for Julian Assange. They're going to appeal it now, but another good news is he might be able to get out on bail. So he might be able to get out on bail now while the United States appeals the decision. So that's fantastic. So hopefully he'll be able to get out on bail and he'll be able to get back into good health.
And be with his family.
It's amazing what's being allowed to happen in the West. And the fact that Australia isn't screaming about this, the government, of Australia, Again, shameful. Again, the biggest crimes are committed right out in the public. And this is one of them. Right out in the public. They're doing this to a journalist. And look at all the worthless journalists in the United States not screaming about this. Hello, this is Jimmy. Who's this?
Jimmy, this is Al Pacino. I'm confused.
What are you confused about, Al?
Okay, why? Jimmy, why is there another election happening? I turn on the TV and it says Election Night in America. The fuck is going on? We just did this shit. Is this like a sequel?
No, Al. It was the Georgia runoff election that you saw.
Runoff? I thought the guy's name was Ossoff.
It appears that John Ossoff defeated David Perdue.
Ossoff won the runoff? Whoa! Okay. What is a runoff? That sounds like some Wile E. Coyote shit.
Well, when these contests were held previously, the results were too close to call, so they had to redo the election.
I see, like a democracy mulligan.
Right.
Do over.
Yeah.
So, why is this so important? It's just one state.
Well, the results of the election determines who will control the Senate.
The senators control the Senate.
No. Which party?
Oh, right. I don't know. Which party?
No, Al. The election determines which political Republican or Democrat will have the most seats in the Senate.
Ah! Is that important?
To the parties, yes, it's very important. Quite frankly, to the American people, probably won't matter much.
Oh, that's too bad. I was getting all worked up about it.
But it looks like the Democrats have won the Senate.
So there are more Democratic senators than Republican.
Actually, there will be the same amount.
Well, then what if there's a tie?
Well, Al, under our current system, in the case of a tie in the Senate, the tie is broken by the vice president, who will be Kamala Harris, who is a Democrat.
Carmen Harry?
Kamala Harris.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah, I know her. I saw that video of her dancing around in the rain in front of her supporters. Just such joie de vivre, such powerful feminine energy.
Yeah, shortly after she stood up for fracking, literal fracking in the vice presidential debate, she danced around and people got very excited.
Yeah, they call her a queen. That's what they say, Jimmy. She's a queen.
Yeah, that's how serious people talk now, apparently.
Okay, Jimmy, this is the part of the sketch when I was writing it. That there was a violent coup to overthrow our government.
And so you didn't know.
And I thought to myself, why the fuck am I writing a sketch about the Georgia election with this shit fucking going on? So, yeah, I've been distracted.
Okay. Hey, we don't have time to get to the rest of that phone call in today's radio show. How do you hear the whole phone call? You got to get a podcast at today's Jimmy Dore Show. And you can get a podcast at the Jimmy Dore Show for free at iTunes, Stitcher, or at jimmydorecomedy.com. Today's show was written by Ron Placone, Mark Van Landewitz, Steph Zamorano, Jim Earl, Mike McRae, and Roger Rittenhouse. All the voices performed today by the one and the only, the inimitable Mike McRae, who can be found at MikeMcRae.com. That's it for this week. You be the best you can be, and I'll keep being me.